stream. We gonna click on this one. Yeah, there we go.
Rider.
Hey, this shit is a daily operation around this motherfucker, you dig?
Here we go.
Society dark, nigga. Lights out. I'm off that NyQuil and that loud pack. Slurring when I spit it hot enough.
Rider.
Hey, this shit is a daily operation around this motherfucker, you dig?
There we go. That's better.
Society dark, nigga. Lights out. I'm off that NyQuil and that loud pack. Slurring when I spit it hot enough to make you breezy swag. Pour whopper on you, make you run it like I'm X-Lax. Nasty with my spiel, pimp my pen like sex for racks. They try to top me, but they can't stop me. I'm drugs, got them hooked on the signs that I drop, G. Diamond conversation. Fuck the
Yeah,
district,
buddy.
though. Arm strong and steady like my niggas with
It's
the
that Black
liquid
Mikey
flow.
right there, if y'all
And
don't
my
know.
flow now. On top of the pile,
Know who he
I'm
is.
on top of my game and
Wish
I'ma
I was
be
on
here
now.
a while. Style wild too. Must I break dance, swap a pop lock on you, make you break fast. Way grimy, stole the apple, killed the snake fast. Jailhouse showers, though we free enough to take baths. 5 times I bow to shake the bullshit. Keep a cannon on me, nigga. Test me, I'ma pull quick. Lifestyles of the thugged out. Sex, money, and murder, we burnt out. Everybody in the town.
Yo, what up? What is going down? Yo. Oh, not much, man, homie. What's up, Laws Donkins, man? Ain't nothing going down, man. I just want to say, first off, man, I don't give a fuck what the hell is going on with these fucking these rappers and shit like that, especially like Cardi B and all that shit. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't understand why people even want to talk about it. Those type of people are not good. You know, they're not gonna do nothing for nobody but themselves. Anyways, let's talk about this. Hearn Wilder must fight Joshua next, or we might miss the boat. Let's see. Scroll down, and see what he says. I ain't even read this one yet, but we're gonna talk about it. I want to talk about the negotiations we have at the moment because I did the last time and it bit me in the butt. That's what he said. And then he goes to say, I'm going to stay quiet, keep this much peeled and shut, and try to make the undisputed fight. I guess that's with Deontay Wilder. That's the priority. It's always been the priority and always been the plan. Josh still likes the Tyson Fury fight. I've spoken to him on numerous times. He's blah, 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 blah. I spoke blah, 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 blah. Anyways, in my opinion, Eddie Hearn's just in the way right now. You know, of course, he always, you know, maybe, I'm not going, this is all my opinion. So I feel that he never wanted to fight, you know, especially how it went down with the whole, you know, keeping Joseph Parker in the rear while he was making negotiations with Wilder. And then all of a sudden, you know, you get his, you know, Anthony Joshua's belts talking about, come on, hurry up, let's go. But anyways, I don't think he wants the fight to happen, and it has nothing to do whether or not if he's scared or not. I think that Eddie Hearn thinks mathematical, and he sees that if Eddie Hearn was smart enough, he would know that that was not the Deontay Wilder that we used to. And I'm pretty sure he recognizes that. I'm pretty sure Eddie Hearn is sitting up over there like, okay, that's not the Deontay Wilder that fought Stavern and Stavern II, and Wilder versus Stavern 2. That is not the Deontay Wilder that fought Louis King Kong Ortiz. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, he was impatient. His jab wasn't there. Deontay Wilder's jab wasn't there, like not like how it was versus Ortiz or how it was against Stavern the second time going around. That jab was not there. I don't know what happened, but that's just the that's just the way it is, you know. And let's talk about something else here. Well, we can still talk about the same thing. I don't think, and I don't think Anthony Joshua cares whether or not Eddie Hearn makes the fight or not. I just think they all are always worried about how are they going to look in the public eye. I think that's what they really worried about. They're more worried about public relations than actually making a fight. You know, I know some people is kind of like, well, no, that's not true, whatever. You know, you can say whatever you want, but the proof is in the pudding. And the proof is basically we're not going to get a Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua in 2019. We're not going to get it. I think what's going to happen is I think we're going to get the Wilder versus Fury fight. I think we're going to get that sooner than later, and I think after that, that's when we're going to get the Deontay Wilder versus Dominic Breazeale. I don't think we're going to get exactly what you mean by exactly, because I got a delay, so I can't really pinpoint what you were talking about, Los Dawkins. Yeah, so I think that's how it's gonna go down, and I know that Tyson Fury's team, and yeah, well, you know, AJ, you know, look, man, Marquez Johnson, AJ ain't gonna fight nobody that's gonna take that. You know, Dillian White might get lucky. If Tyson Fury don't, that's another thing. Tyson Fury might turn coat and might switch up over there and you know, and fight AJ for them 3 belts, so he can be like, okay, let's go to the UK and blah blah woody whoop, and now I'm the A side and get all that. You know, some people when they get some belts, you know, that all goes to get a power trip, but yeah. I don't think, because you got to think about how Anthony Joshua is. Anthony Joshua's been said, like, you know, I'm going to fight who my handlers tell me to fight. I'm going to fight who my trainer, that's what he said, who my trainer and who Eddie Hearn's telling him to fight. And I think that both of his trainer and Eddie Hearn are in cahoots, and they're making sure that they keep Anthony Joshua for a while, for 2 reasons. And it's not all about making money. I think that they know deep down inside, for talking to his trainers and stuff like that, that they probably feel that Anthony Joshua still has a lot to learn. And then not only that is, they're like, well, we can set up these fights because these would be good for him to learn his timing, learn, you know, his jab, you know, learn different things. And I think that's really what they're doing. But at the same time, they're equating the money aspect of everything, which is they seem that Wilder that of course they seen the Wilder that didn't fight Ortiz, you know. But the funny thing really about it is Deontay Wilder told us before the fights happened. Deontay Wilder at the fighter presser, Deontay Wilder was like, this is the worst camp that I ever had. But he didn't say necessarily what happened or what didn't happen or whatever the case may be, but nobody like asked him why. You know what I'm saying? So now we got the answer. Now the answer is, we found out that he broke his arm. You know, he broke his arm, and now we know that's. So let's say, for instance, depending on how this say for instance, there's different types of broke arms now. Maybe it was a fracture. Maybe it was a clean break. Maybe it was the big bone. Maybe it was a little bone in your arm. But I think he said it broke somewhere around his elbow. So that's different than in the middle of the arm, because he's going to feel that for the rest of his life. I got a couple of broke bones on my body and stuff like that, so I know the ones close to the joints are always the worst. See, I got one right here. That's one of them. So, but now let's talk about the other one that everybody's been talking about, if I could find it. It was the one that Eddie bitch ass Hearn. You know what? I think Eddie Hearn does a good job, though. I think Eddie Hearn does a very good job, but the thing about it is, I just think that he goes about it the wrong way. I don't think you need to put someone down to get yourself ahead. I don't think you need to damn, I think they took it off of here. Yeah, I don't think you need to do that. I'm over here looking for this other article. Press Control F to find all of the ones. I'm just going to Google it. Yeah, I'm just going to Google it. Priorities Undisputed. Maybe it's in that one. So let's go to the bottom here and spoke. Nah, it's not in this one. Hey, Lawrence Dawkins, you still there? Hey, what was that thing that Eddie Hearn said that earlier that everybody was talking about as far as like they still on top or something like that? What was it? What was that article called? 'Cause I'm trying to look for it so I can talk about it real quick. I just can't find that hoe. Wilder, Tyson Fury. I'm over here looking for it. I just don't see that hoe. I can show you what I'm looking at. I can show you. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. There we go. I'm over here looking for it. I just can't. Damn, where that hoe go? Let me see if he said something. Talk Sports Radio, bro. Oh, that's where you got it from? Talk Sport Radio. But I saw it on here too. I just had it up before I went live. It was just I had to restart my computer because it was acting up. It was acting up a bit, man. So I had to turn it off. Well, anyways, I'm just gonna elaborate with it. So earlier, I heard a few people talk about Eddie Hearn. Basically saying that no matter what goes on, that Matchroom Boxing is still on top or whatever the case may be. Look, when Eddie Hearn goes out of his way. Oh, go on that one? All right, I can go on this one. Let's see. That's what it's called, Sports Radio. I Googled it. That's sure enough don't see it. I don't see it on that one. Yeah, I don't see it on that one, Laws. It's not on that one, Jack. Yeah, let me click on this big button right here. Wednesday, today's Thursday, so it had to be yesterday that it came out. Water as soon as possible. Tyson Fury. Okay, I found it. I found this hoe. Yeah, I found it. It was on this other site. It was on the same one. Let me see if I can pull it up now. Trying to figure out how to do this hoe. Wrong one. There we go. Yeah. All right, can y'all see this? I'm pretty sure after a while you can. You're gonna be able to see what I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna go down to the last paragraph. We call the shots at the end of the day. We have AJ. I'm sorry, but if you go to work and you're not happy with your wages, you'll probably change your job and look for a better deal. Being the size of the company we are and having the assets, Anthony Joshua has and we have collectively, it means we don't do silly deals. We don't listen to people who say, you've got to do this. We haven't got to do anything. I have to wake up in the morning and I try to stay up. I'll go to bed every night, whatever he says. They are the only two things I have to do. Look, my opinion on that is that you can't listen to Eddie Hearn like that. It just doesn't work. What you should do is you should break it down. If you're really a boxing fan, you would. Yeah, I already found it, man. You should actually listen to what this dude. You actually should read it and look at why he's saying certain things. So if you say we call the shots at the end of the day, where do you call the shots at? Why do you call the shots? Who do you have around you? What kind of power does he have? Well, the only power that Eddie Hearn has is in the UK. Eddie Hearn is not no shot caller in the US. And Eddie Hearn still has competition in the UK. So I don't know what he's talking about. You know, how come the only fighter you got is, well, you got two fighters. You got Usyk. I believe you got Usyk, and you got AJ. That's all you got. But Usyk could have easily went somewhere else. The only reason why he went with you, Eddie, is probably because it was easy, fast money. But all money is not good money. And hell, Frank Warren probably got a bad reputation over there too. So he had to go with whatever he had. And then not only that is, he's not even getting the same looks as everybody else, even in his, around the world, as an undisputed fighter. Usyk is not getting pulled like fucking Triple G was getting pulled. It just ain't happening. So, you know what, Lars? I'm going to do this. There we go. I had y'all moderators just in case something happens. After Wilder's pay-per-view numbers, if I'm Wilder, I'll tell AJ to bring his ass to U.S. unless they can guarantee 25 to 30 million to come to the UK. Well, look. Look, I'm going to tell you this. I don't care what happens over there in the UK. I don't care how much. I don't care if Wilder can generate $100 million over here in pay-per-view numbers for the Deontay Wilder Fury 2. I'm going to tell you this. AJ won't fight over here. I don't believe he will. And the reason why I believe I don't think he will is because of Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn calls them shots. AJ don't call nothing. AJ don't call no shots up over there. So if you think about it, if the fight is over here in the U.S., there's no DAZN. Now, especially if Wilder is making $80 to $100 million, there's not going to be DAZN involved. There can't be, because DAZN would just be lost in profits, and Eddie Hearn would even know that. After that, Eddie Hearn would probably devise another scheme to prolong it and keep us out of the way. You know, they won't. They're not going to come up with, because it's going to take the money. It's going to take the money out of their mouth, because all that 3-year $100 million that $100 million 3-year contract that Eddie Hearn gave to AJ fighting over here is going to take from that. It's going to take from that. And I don't even think that AJ even get money per fight anymore, because he took that 100 mil. He probably just gets some type of bonuses. He probably just get a percentage of each fight. But he ain't getting. But once you buy out, like once you sell out like AJ did, you don't get huge cuts no more. You don't get 25 million a fight no more when you sign. That's why Floyd left Golden Boy. And that's why Golden Boy sued. Because when Floyd left, a whole lot of money left. Now let's go back to this article. It's Eddie Hearn we call the shots. Eddie Hearn talking about Eddie Hearn ain't no shot caller in the U.S. Eddie Hearn is something what we would call a simp in the U.S. That's a motherfucker that go around buying pussy. He a mark. Everybody looking at him like, okay, yeah, I could rob this homie. Yeah, okay, yeah. You go up to the cash register and the motherfucker looking at him like, yeah, okay. He says you give him a 5 and he say 250 and he give you 75 cents back because you don't know no better because you a mark. But anyways, let's go back to it. So Eddie Hearn talking about he calling the shots. Look, we all know that's over in the UK. Then he says we have AJ. Okay, now you telling us what you worth, because that's all Matchroom Boxing is worth. Is AJ. That's their number one asset. And even says that. Even says being the size of the company we are and having the assets Anthony Joshua has and we have collectively. First of all, Anthony Joshua ain't got no assets because he signed a contract. When it comes to boxing, Matchroom Boxing has an asset in way of Anthony Bootlicking Joshua. So he's talking about we got assets and all this thing, but look at Deontay Wilder. He ain't signed no contract with nobody. If Deontay Wilder make $100 million off of one fight, okay, Al Heyman get what, 10-15%? Shelly Finkel get his cut, and Lula DiBella get his cut. Are you following me? Because the reason why I think Wilder does it like that, well, I think the reason why he does it like that is because Al Heyman probably just sets everything up. All Lou DiBella got to do is just get people in line. Okay, we going here for this thing. We going over here, blah 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 blah, calling these people. You know, he got his own team, and then Shelly Finkel was just making sure. Hey, man, did you read that contract? What fight you want? That's the reason why he does it like that. Everybody has it. Everybody has they role, but guess what? They taking percentages, low percentages. If Deontay Wilder makes, $100 million, how much Shelly Finkel gonna get? How much Lula DiBella gonna get? Off of doing something that's so easy to them, they could do it in their sleep. Look, Laws Dawkins. Look, let me tell you something. Anthony Joshua didn't have to sign a $100 million contract for 3 years with Eddie Hearn. Anthony Joshua could have made that money by himself. But I think what the problem is that Anthony Joshua is scared of the Eddie Hearn factor, because Eddie Hearn has fans. So I think that Anthony Joshua was kind of scared, like, okay, well, maybe if I don't sign with Matchroom, I'm gonna lose some people. But that's not. But that's all in his head. Because what was it? How much? Because Anthony Joshua is not the only fighter in the UK to sell 90,000 tickets. He's not the only one. He's not the only one, and he won't be the last one. Because 90,000 tickets, not 100. I hope I didn't say 100,000. But anyways, hey man, anytime for the wrench, man. I noticed you was on here, and I was like, wait a minute, man. I ain't got nobody to look out for me when I ain't looking. You know what I'm saying? So I hooked you up. Yeah. So, dang man, you let me lose. The problem with AJ, he's set in his comfort zone. Yeah, he's set in his. You know what? I think over there, and maybe hearing things about the U.S., you probably would get caught in the comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to. He doesn't have to worry about getting robbed. He knows what he's getting. He knows what he's getting into. He knows what type of person that Eddie Hearn is already. So yeah, it probably is a comfort zone, but that's called complacency. You know, that's called complacency. Like, you know, it's basically like a baby getting used to sucking on that ninny. You know, it's complacency, and it's sad that he signed a contract with Eddie Hearn and didn't need it. He could have been doing the same thing that fighters do over here with the PBC. You take your 15% Eddie from each fight. You set everything up. You take your cut. You pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? You take your cut from each fight, and we part ways. You mean to tell me if you selling 25 million, if you selling 25 million at the gate and 20 to 25 million in pay-per-view in the UK, and then you get the other international shit coming in, you mean to tell me that he couldn't, fighting twice a year, get $100 million on himself by himself? That means you take 25, you set your own shit up and you fight wherever the fuck you want to. You lessen the card so you take home more money. Instead of having a 15, 20 fucking fight card, you lessen them hoe. So every fighter that's in there gets paid a little bit more. But you take from, you take a percentage from each one. Yeah, sucking on that ninny. That's what he be doing. That's what he should have did. You know what I'm saying? But now he's stuck in the rut for 3 years. Then about time he get out of that rut, is he gonna have 3 belts? Is he gonna have 4 belts or 0 belts? What's he gonna have when that's all said and done? Like, how many belts are he gonna have? You know, where is he gonna be at in boxing 3 to 4 years? Is he gonna be the same? Is he gonna be the same? I'm over here messing with my preamp. You can't see it though. It's I record music in here too. This is actually a very it's a decent expensive mic. So I record music in here. I show you. See, pop it out like that. See, you can look it up. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no cheap shit. I don't record music anymore right now. I used to. I just kept everything. Basically, I track vocals a little bit. Yeah. So he should have went his own way. And hell, you know what? I wouldn't say Anthony Joshua come up over here and get with the PBC or whatever the case may be, because that might have hindered him in the UK because of just resentment. UK versus United States. Because back in the days the UK tried to do us in, we had to get with the French to defend y'all to help us out. Then we reneged on the French. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what's the next line on here? We got being the size of the company we are and having the assets Anthony Joshua we have collectively. Okay, next one. Well, the size of company. The size of company, he just basically means how many fighters he got. I mean, yeah, they rent office space in New York or whatever, but they ain't doing nothing with that. That's all I think is the zone. Yeah, he got some fighters that's fighting up over here and stuff like that, but you got to think about it though. He set up shop up over here in the U.S. Probably got like a little light limited whatever company, whatever. But guess what? He's paying taxes in 2 countries now. 2 countries. So I don't know if you know about taxes and compensation over here in the United States. You get mollywopped. So, oh, what's up, man? What's up, Mark? Oh, you from Utah, huh? Yo, man, I'm from California, but I live in Saginaw, Michigan, though. It's snowed outside a little bit. Yeah, but you got to watch Eddie Hearn, man. Like, he's talking about, because everything he's saying in there, he's pumping his head up. You might as well get the a soccer ball pump and get the pumping, because That's all they doing. He's kind of like saying like, I got this, I got that. We ain't worried about them cats up over there. Blasey blah whoop whoop. 300K. They ain't shit. What we do up over here, we doing $1 million. We doing $1 million. This pay-per-views up over here. We doing this at the gate. We got 90,000 people, and half the motherfuckers can't see shit in there. They gotta look at the screen. They can barely see on that. So that's the shit you gotta understand. That's what he's saying. He's talking about, oh, y'all got snow over there too? Man, we didn't get that much, man. This shit didn't stick on the main roads, but on the side streets it stuck. But the side streets, they barely hit it with salt and shit like that. So, it stuck a little bit. But it wasn't nothing for a player like me. But anyways, like, I'm hoping nobody go live. Yeah, okay, cool. Because I'm still trying to hit the other, trying to see what's going live. Yeah, but that's what you got to look at, man. That's the only thing you're doing. He's pumping his head up. He's pumping his head up saying, I got this, I got that, blah, blah, whoop, whoop, whoop. But he better hope to God the PBC doesn't set up shop in the UK. He better hope to God they don't, because this is going to be really bad for him. Because the PBC does not take away from a lot of the fighters. So most of the time, the PBC is taking 10 to 15% of the fight purse, I believe. And then what they do is they say, okay, look, if they happen to give you an advance, the PBC will not take away from your paycheck that you get from that fight if you're not making over $250,000 in some cases. Oh, I read it. Let me tell you something. You in America, you will be surprised on what you can find on the internet. And I found a few people's contracts. I just don't give it up because if Fanon ain't showing y'all, I'm not gonna show y'all. So I kind of follow what he doing. If he ain't showing y'all contracts, I'm not gonna show you no contracts. Because I think that's, I don't know, man. It just kind of, some people don't need to be. It's just what I read in the lawsuit. Let's just say that. I looked up a lawsuit, and that's what it said in the lawsuit. And it was a lawsuit that had to deal with the PBC versus it was, see, what people don't understand, it wasn't PBC versus Golden Boy. It was PBC versus Oscar De La Hoya and his dude Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins sued the PBC. Yeah, Bernard Hopkins was in on it too. And basically what it boiled down to, the judgment was, the judge basically said, I don't know why you suing. You fucked yourself. All the evidence that you showed us that you are a bad businessman, man. So let's go back to the saga of Eddie Hearn. So let's see what he said. It means we don't do silly deals. So he's not elaborating what he's talking about, but what he means silly deals. Only silly deal I can understand in him that he could be saying is the 50 million. But to tell you the truth, if Deontay Wilder was to do $25 million at the gate, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder would be neck and neck far as revenue was concerned. You know what I'm saying? They would be neck and neck. And this is Deontay Wilder's first pay-per-view match. So you mean to tell me that they said, well, the last article said that this should peak at 320,000 pay-per-views? So you mean to tell me that the next one is going to do less? Because the next fight with Fury, it should do 320 and above. So the next one, because Fanon said, Ward and Koval, I forget what he was talking about, that did less numbers for the second time. But if we keep up if the LDBC, the old media, and everybody keep up with keeping these two in the limelight, keeping people in tune to knowing who these guys is, like every week or every day, You know, you just put them right there, blasey blah, right, you know, somewhere on the headline or below it. Like put them on them news feeds on it. So like in on the ESPN app, on the ESPN app, you get like little, I don't know if you can see it, but you get notifications of what's going on. Like right now, they're saying on the ESPN, the First Lady of Boxing. The next article for that is just on the feeder. It says the best of HBO boxing. Let me see what y'all talking about. Okay, you ain't talking about it. So they need to keep Deontay Wilder and Fury in the news, man, to keep it up, because the more they keep these guys in the limelight on these front pages and keep talking about them, get Stephanie A. Smith to talk about it, Lex get you know, your boy Shannon Sharp, keep getting these dudes to keep talking about them, and then not only that, have Tyson Fury go out there and go on a what is it, mental illness campaign tour, get him with the nonprofit organization, get him on these nonprofit commercials out here and over there in the UK. So then that way people's like, damn man, you got this dude out here, have him go out there to the, you know, maybe the Make-A-Wish Foundation and stuff like that, and see suicidal kids, go talk to them and stuff like that. Get people back into boxing, you know, and in that way, in tune, I know I hate to say it, use, you know, mental illness as a type of crutch like that, or, you know, in the wrong, kind of in the gray area, you know, but it'll get people to get to know him. If he really had a problem with mental illness, go ahead and do that. You know, go ahead and be the spokesman of a mental illness, because when you look at mental illness in rugby, wrestling, you know, WWE, American football, you know, and stuff, you know, boxing and stuff like that, mental illness usually comes with the blows. You know, mental illness usually comes with the blows that you take in the ring and on the field. And then what happens is that, you know, you got the CTE, and you got all this brain injury and stuff like that. Now, you got to take all this medication and stuff like that to keep from whooping the motherfucker, because now your brain can't control its swings and stuff like that. So it sometimes mental illness just comes with the territory, and it'd be good for Tyson Fury to be the spokesman of it for boxing and for the general public, especially these kids out here, because there's a lot of kids out here that don't know about mental illness, and there's a lot of black people in America that don't know what it means to be bipolar or schizophrenic and stuff like that. They just get locked up or get hooked on drugs or something like that, and then people just think that they always been on it or something like that, but they always had something wrong with them. It was just the drugs probably was helping them cope with their problem. But I think that's what they should. I think that's what Tyson should do, and I think Deontay Wilder should do something too. You know, maybe Deontay Wilder should go out there and you know, and campaign for the, you know, Make-A-Wish Foundation, you know, because, you know, his daughter and stuff like that. And I think they should, you know, maybe not necessarily get together and do things, but do something together as a whole for the sport of boxing. Either it's them going around here talking about, like, you know, fighters' safety, fighters' health, fighters' compensation, you know, fighters' retirement plans, something. You know what I'm saying? Because they Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury seems like two dudes that are very outspoken and actually genuinely care about things in their life. Unlike Anthony Joshua, unlike some of these other fighters out there. Maybe they should do something like that, because in that way, you know, they can get all these other fighters on board with it. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't say, and I can't come up with fighters actually that wouldn't respect another fighter that's coming out there trying to help the overall sport. You know, there's fighters probably that don't like Deontay Wilder because he hasn't fought him, or because of he talks too much and you know he doesn't talk as good as them. But I think that, you know, it'd be good for the sport. You know, I forget who it was, but it was on World Breaker Fighter. He had a female on there, and she was talking about it like there's, you know, fighters not getting compensation, and that's and medical expenses and stuff like that for some of these fights. Like they got to pay out of pocket, and that's the reason why That's the reason why I kind of get why Crawford and Spence is not fighting right now. Like, people want these two dudes to fight, but at the end of the day, one of these two dudes got to take a L. And these two dudes haven't made enough money in boxing to where they can live the rest of their life comfortably. I wouldn't want my favorite fighter, especially if he's a champ, to have to work a second or third job, because boxing alone in itself is two jobs. Boxing is like a way of life. You always on the clock as far as smoking, drinking, what you eating, and then public relations, like not beating your wife and all that bullshit, and then you got to be in the gym. It's a 24-hour job, 24/7 job. You got some fighters out there that's working for the Federal Reserve, working at Home Depot, and they on TV. Some of these cats on TV working second jobs. There was a fighter out from the UK that came over here. He had to quit boxing for a while because he couldn't feed himself. He had to get a motherfucking job, and he couldn't get a plane ticket to go back to the UK because he invested in himself. But the thing about it is, when you ain't got no money in boxing, nobody's gonna fight you. You gotta get by, you know what I'm saying? So, to me, I don't blame Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence for not fighting each other right now. Yeah, I want to see the best fight the best. But I'm okay with you doing what you gotta do to secure your bread for your family first. Because a lot of these cats out there, they're not out here fighting necessarily for the love of boxing and stuff like that. They are out here trying to feed their goddamn family. Hey, man. Hey, thanks for coming out here, Lowe's. I see you again, man. Yeah, man. When you go live, man, I be at work, man. I be trying to have the headphones in. People be bothering me at my desk. I be trying to get up in there. I just can't pay attention the whole way because I do administrative paperwork. I type all day, and but anyways, man, you have a good night. Hope you ate and stuff like that. Yeah, but I don't blame them for fighting right now, and I wouldn't blame any fighter that's still trying to do something for themselves. Because I would hate for a fighter to just take one L and then be hurt for the rest of their life, never be the same, or lose out on opportunities when they could have just waited 2 or 3 fights. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. Secure your family first. What you say? Push you got front. Hey, man. Anytime, man. But it's just that one day I was gonna get on, the fight was. Hey, man, I'm mad at you, World Breaker, man. You said you was gonna be on at 7:30 for the fight. You didn't come on till later on, and then all of a sudden everybody else was on, and I couldn't find you. Yeah, but that's all I had to say about the Errol Spence and Crawford, man. I don't blame them cats, man. I can't blame them. Oh, you said 7:45. My bad, man. I didn't get the notification in. So the reason why I have these shoulder pads behind me is because I play semi-pro football, right? I play in a non-profit league. So And that means that everybody on the team has to pay team dues. Everybody on the team has to pay for their own pads. These aren't mine. This is what I bought for one of my teammates. This is my helmet. This is a very expensive helmet. You can look it up if you want to. These are my shoulder pads right here. Right? These are mine. These are my shoulder pads right here. So basically, them shoulder pads, when I bought them brand new, they was $300. I think they was $300. But anyways, so I'm buying all this stuff for the love of the game, because I want something to fit comfortable. I want something to fit. I want a helmet that got the best rating, that I know when I hit somebody, I'll be able to save a few more brain cells in the next helmet. That's basically what it is. It's not gonna save it all. It's just gonna help a little bit. And so these cats in this boxing ring, yes, they love boxing, but then now they're not doing it for free. But now, at some point in line, do you want to leave the sport of boxing that has nothing, no type of compensation? What you leave with nothing? Do you want to leave with $5 million, not knowing how to manage your money? Because you got umpteen properties and stuff. You don't know once you got to hang up them gloves, you still got to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? You still got to pay them expensive heat bills when it comes to having mansions. And electricity, gas and electricity. You got a pool. Now you got to feed that. Then you got to feed that hoe. This is what people not understanding. It costs a lot of money to put kids through school, buy them clothes and all that stuff. And then you this fighter out here, now you don't want to just take your kids to public school, because you know how not any public school, some of them good, but not any one of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing too. So you want to leave the sport with something to help your family out. Put y'all, and not only that is create some type of generational wealth. Not just this is just me. This is my opinion. I want the best to fight the best, but I also don't want my champ or my favorite fighter to have to work a second job or be out there in at the food bank. You know what I'm saying? You know, I hear Blood, Retro Boxing, and a couple of other people out there talk about past fighters and how they died without nobody knowing who they was. They just disappeared. Look at Errol Spence, but if he get up in there with Crawford and get his ass whooped, and sometimes people, they get their ass whooped one time and that's a wrap. And it's a done data. They're never the same again. Or he get his ass whooped, but nobody give him a chance no more. Look what happened to look how long it took Holyfield to get a chance. Because he wasn't with the right promoter or something like that. Or because he was dangerous. Who's gonna want to fight Errol Spence if he loses against Crawford? The problem is with that is, it's not who is going to fight him. How much money is he going to get after that? Because Crawford after that just going to keep moving up. Now Spence got to catch up. Now Spence going to have to fight somebody to get back where he is, but everybody will remember that L that he took over and over and over again. So it's going to take him about a year or two to get back where he was, monetary-wise. Because don't nobody still want to fight Crawford and Spence and get that bread right. As of right now, I mean, that's just me, man. I just went live just because I could. Ooh. Nah, he ain't live. What is it? Deontay Wilder blast Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. Let me and Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson. Look, I don't knock a man for his own opinion. But the thing that I knock Floyd Mayweather for when it comes to Deontay Wilder is, why would you knock this dude when y'all basically with the same, y'all basically with PBC? Why would you knock him? Why would you, instead of knocking this dude, be like, hey, man, between Floyd and Ward, how come them two dumb-ass idiots ain't like, hey, man, I got a gym, Deontay. Or how about you come up over here on the Austin for about like a month or two. We work over some stuff and you go back. Bring you and Diaz. Y'all come up over, or you and Diaz or Breland, y'all come up over here and let's work on some stuff to get you to keep you evolving in the sport of boxing. Let me and my uncles and my dad, let's go over some things that worked for us that might work for you. Because two heads are always better than one. That's it. I don't understand this. Like, why would they sit there and say these things about this dude's like Deontay Wilder might not want this fight next? It's not the fact that you giving your fucking opinion. It's the fact that what you went through, like everybody has been saying as a boxer and not getting the limelight and the stuff that you deserve, what you went through is what he's going through. What you went through is what Deontay Wilder is going through. So why would you break that man down? Why would you sit there, Mike Tyson, and say, oh, you know, he's not this fundamentally sound and stuff like that? Look, I don't see you out there training anybody, Mike. I think you're incapable of training people on how to box. And some people would say you're incapable of managing your own money. There's some things you need to train on too. But I'm not going to go there. Now let's go back to Floyd. Floyd, you dirty dog. I like Floyd's defense. I like his boxing ability. I like his counter punches and all that stuff. But, you know, I'm all for you making your bread. But why would you come back? Like the only way you should have came back in the sport of boxing would be to big up every boxer under the PBC umbrella. That's the only way you should. That's the only reason why you should have came back for boxing. You should have came back in boxing to make a $300-400 million fight card. And then divide the wealth to all these fighters under the PBC. But instead, what you do is you're coming back to reallocate that money you get for fights for your own investments. For a guy that has made so much off of boxing, I'm not going to say he never gave back to boxing, because he has. Paid for funeral costs and stuff like that. But how come you, after looking at your dad, your uncle, how come you are not out there advocating for boxing health, for the boxer's health, or for things that go out there to pay for boxers' health care and dental, or things that go out there to pay for at least a funeral cost? How come you're not out there doing that? When you say, Floyd, I didn't hear you, man. I just got Floyd could have passed the torch with against Arrow or Bud, but his pride. I don't think it's his pride and jealousy that got to him. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's his pride or his jealousy that got to him. Because you got to think about it though. These cats out there, they always thinking about building these fighters, and a fight promoter, to me, never wants to see their fighter take an L. So how they do it is they try to sit there and build them up. Build him up, build him up, build him up, build him up. Fight this guy. He moves like this. Fight this guy. They learn timing and all this stuff. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people, is that they forget that having 2-3 belts at 20 fights you're still not an experienced fighter. You haven't fought everybody. You need about like 30 fights to be an experienced fighter, to be like, okay, I know how to handle a lot of different styles of fighting. I know how to train for it. I know what to look for. I don't think Floyd is jealous. Because if Floyd was jealous, he would have put him in there with somebody early and had him get whooped. Everybody would have took an L already on Jump Street. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Floyd would have put Earl with Canelo a long time ago. Long time ago. Floyd would have set something up. He would have said something up. I'm telling you, I don't think he's jealous. And I don't think it's his pride. I just think it's pure fucking stupidity. I think it's just pure fucking stupidity. He's trying to fucking keep them back so he could fight a few more fights and then put them on so he can make a few more $100 million. Because if he was doing what he was supposed to be doing, when he came back, nobody would be thinking about him. It's not jealousy, it's money. He know he has it. What up, family? Just tuning in. Hey, what up, Saddam? What's up, Aladdin Saddam? Ain't nothing much. But y'all, man, I'm getting up off of here, man. I got to get in this kitchen. You know, I would like to say shout outs to the LDBC and everybody stay sucker free.